What's up, man? It's kind of odd. We live here with KFM Podcast, man. Check it out.
What's up, everybody? What's going on, y'all? It's your man, Fat.
How's it going, everybody? This is Jordan Paul, and you're tapping into
Straight back to the Kountry Fan Ma Podcast.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy KlueDaDon, Kountry Fan Ma Podcast, here with another super dope episode. Man, we are here in the dope spaces, Capital Connections. I was going to say Capitol Records. Honestly, it seems like there'd be some really big records popping out of here. But, shout out to Capital Connections. Shout out to Bud, the owner. But we're going to get into this interview because we have a really, really super dope guest on the podcast today while we are guests in their spaces. Shout out to this cat, Kountry.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for having me,
yes,
you guys.
Sir. Yes, sir. And also shout out to the studio audience back there. You know what I'm saying? Doing their thing. Hey. Yeah. And our super dope engineer and EP, Miss Pisces, behind the proverbial ones and twos.
Hey.
Yeah, so we gonna get it. So yeah, man, first question I gotta ask, which is we're being 100% honest. This is take two. I'm just gonna say it because I wasn't gonna be able to get around that. What's the first song that you listened to when you woke up?
My
this morning?
answer gonna be hella different. No, I'm playing. Yo, the first song I listened to this morning was Tooted and Booted by YG, bro.
Why that song,
Hey, it was not my choice. Yeah, it just came on. I wasn't in control of the music, but shout out YG, man. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, shout out YG.
What a great song to start your morning off with.
Already, man. Yeah, I can appreciate that. It's crazy. I was actually listening. That was one of the last songs I listened to last night. So yeah, it's kind of you can see what kind of time we was on at like 9 o'clock. So, slide into this interview, man. So, kind of born and raised Sacramento.
Raised,
okay.
Born in OKC.
Got you.
Yeah.
What brought you here?
My mom was raised here, and so she moved from Sacramento when she was like 15 to Oklahoma City. My grandfather was always being stationed. He was in the Air Force, and so when he got stationed at Tinker, Air Force Base, my mom had to leave Sac, whatnot. So she'd always said, like, once I get old enough, I'm gonna move back to California or whatnot. So when I was about 8. She made that happen. We moved to Sacramento, lived with my uncle for a couple years until she was able to get her spot. And yeah, man, it's been history since. I thank her to this day, to this day for moving me out there. You know, I love OKC. I got hella family out there, love it. But I feel like I wouldn't have dove into music if I never moved. I mean, possibly, but it's not the lane that I'm in now. You know
for sure. I feel that, man. And I had to ask that because like, I'm still new here, but you're one of the most Sacramento motherfuckers that I know. Hey. Like, I see you rep this city. I really see you doing big for the city out here. So, you know what I'm saying? That's definitely, it's love and it's appreciated. No, for sure, man. So, let's kind of go back to, early times, when you first was getting into the music. First, I started seeing music pop up for you, like, about 10, 11 years ago. So kind of tell me about that. If there was earlier music, please tell me about it. But tell me about that time.
I would say in terms of like getting into hip hop, it was about 10 years ago. Me and my boy Colton started off with this shitty laptop with this trial version of Mixcraft, 2 mattresses and a shitty mic. We thought we was in the game, you know what I mean? But we were waking up every morning making shit, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Wasn't
the best sounding shit at the time, but
getting them 10,000 hours.
Getting them hours in, yeah, exactly. But yeah, that was about 10, 11 years ago, I would say. And then, before that, I was making like pop and like punk music or whatnot. And so I had like huge like influences from like Green Day and like Nirvana and shit like that. And so before I got into hip hop, I was definitely the dude with a guitar in his hand and singing in front of crowds and shit. Shout out No Admission, man. You know what I'm saying? That was my first project, my first band back in the day.
Okay.
Yeah. So this music shit has been with me for a very, very long time, for surely.
So what was what was that moment that made you want to make that transition into hip hop? Or like, what was that moment and what were the songs that were being played, if you can remember? Like, what was some of the tracks? Yeah.
Fab hopped on the remix. That song ended up blowing the fuck up, and so yeah, fucking. Look at my team, bro. They out here, bro.
That's crazy.
Soon this motherfucker gonna be bop, bop, bop,
I was just about to say,
you know what I'm saying?
It's already set up for it.
Yeah, man.
Success.
But yeah, man,
For sure, man.
This is where it happens, bro. You know?
We're gonna make something work.
Yeah, man.
We gonna come back. We'll get that footage
anytime,
in, man. Just let me know if you're, if you actually have like plans to be in the studio cooking up something specific for the next, next session. So let me know.
For sure. I'll reach out to you, see if you're.
Yeah, this is pretty much what I do for. Yeah.
I feel like around that time, I was really, really into like Jack and like Huss and the rest of the mob figures. Crazy transition to go from punk rock music to to listen to Jack and Huss, bro. But I don't know. I just fucked with the sound tough. I think that was right when I started smoking too, and so like I was really, really into it. You know what I'm saying? Bro, like these fools' live sound fucking dope, bro. Hitting this backwood. Like,
everything sound different when you high.
Everything sound different when you high, bro. But yeah, man. I would say.
Speaking of it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man. I would say that transition had to be fresh out of high school or some shit when I was getting into trouble with my boys and shit. But we was bumping mob figures in the back. Already.
Okay. So when I listened to your music, I was talking to my wife about it when we was coming over here, and I was like, one thing about Kinda Odd is that he makes music that is commercially palatable. So it's like when I was listening to Pumpkin Spice, for instance, I was like, I can hear Starbucks. Y'all listening? Starbucks. I hope y'all Starbucks. I can hear Starbucks playing Pumpkin Spice on a commercial. I can hear this playing on for a love scene on a movie. It literally can be played in all these different places. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, but at the same time, it's a bop. It's not no corny shit. It's not, so like, what is that kind of on purpose, or is that something that you just kind of decided to? I mean, or is that on purpose, or is that something that you just fell into?
It just kind of comes out. I always knew that I wanted to be different, like in terms of what I heard was being put out, and I don't rap or sing or write about shit that I don't live, and so it's really easy for me to just make music with no cap in it, because I'm not talking about shooting niggas or running up on people's blocks or some shit, because I didn't live that life. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's what it is. So like a joint like Pumpkin Spice, like, is something that I can feel comfortable performing and writing. It's because I've been through that situation. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's been madly in love with, or whatnot, and yeah, and so it just kind of comes out. Like, I don't try to force anything that isn't something that I can't relate to. You know what I'm saying? Like, for sure. Yeah, like I try to think of every song that I put out as a little bit of my personal life that I pour into it. You know what I'm saying?
You got to, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Can you think of a time, or actually, I really like this question. I think they asked Kendrick this question. They was like, can you think of any song that you released that was like, you listen back at it and it was like, damn, that was trash. Like, why did I do that? But give me that song, but then give me another song that you've released, and every time you listen to it, you're still surprised. Like, I did that.
Oh, okay, worst track that I done and put out. Damn, that's a good question. I would say for me, it's probably this song I got off my first EP called High Ground. Which is, and a lot of people will disagree with me because a lot of people like that song.
That's not the one that's like, that's not a weed song.
That's my jam right there. Okay, yeah, that's right. Okay. But it's off the same EP. But yeah, High Ground, when I recorded it, I was like, this is fire. And then when I listened to it like a couple months later, I was like, I could have surely came on that differently, bro. But some people like it, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. But yeah, in my opinion, I think that's probably my worst track that I've put out. Drop in the comments if you think otherwise, guys. That's for surely one of my worst. One of my best, or one that I'm proud of, is probably definitely Pumpkin Spice is one of those that is up there.
Pumpkin Spice is that shit.
It's just like, you can show anyone that song. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could show... You know what I'm saying? You can show your mom that song.
Y'all go string Pumpkin
Granny
Spice.
that song, you know what I mean? And they're going to love it, And plus, it's, seasonal or whatnot. And so it's kind of timeless every year in a sense, Yeah. But yeah, I'm very proud of that joint. Not just because it just dropped. But go check that out. But for sure, that one and another song called Soarin' that I did. And Soarin' is kind of a part one to Pumpkin Spice in a sense. Okay. Same kind of sound. Very heavy horns in there, you know what I mean? Kind of a jazz feel. Shout out Colt 45 for the production on both of those tracks.
Hey, shout out Code 45. Yeah, I didn't even know that. Yeah, that was some shit, man. I really liked the production. That was the first thing, honestly, that caught my ear. I feel like if the production is trash, because I feel like you can have you can have bad mics, you can have no soundproofing, you can have all this stuff, but with some good production, you can make some of the craziest things, sound good. There's songs that like people don't even know, like that You Were a Jerk song by the New Kids. They recorded that in the closet. Right. They was on punishment. They wasn't even supposed to be doing music. And that's a real story. That song went crazy, right? So it's like you just gotta have a little, some will and some good production, do your thing. You can do it on your phone, Bandcamp, iPad, Steve Lacy records tons of songs literally on his iPad. But yeah, man. So kind of segue and tell me something about some of your favorite Tell me about some of your favorite collaborations that you've done with.
I got a lot.
Especially in the city, because I saw one actually that surprised me. I was listening to some music and I was like, that ain't kind of our rapping, but that sounds familiar. He said something fast, and I was like, is that HB Fast?
Hey,
yeah.
Yo,
shout out to them. I've had him on the show before, man. Right when I first got out to Sacramento, he was actually the very first. Little Six, and then HB Fast, the first cast that tapped in.
Yo. Hey, that's what's up, man. Really I'm over here blushing and shit. That's what's up, man. Yo, Fast, bro. That fool monster. Be snapping, bro.
Monster.
Snapping, bro. Rapping like I'm trying to cover it up to go food. Bro, what?
Hold up.
That nigga was going crazy on that shit.
What's up, everybody? What's going on, y'all? It's your man, Fat.
How's it going, everybody? This is Jordan Paul, and you're tapping into
Straight back to the Kountry Fan Ma Podcast.